Okay, so this is the assisted pull-up, a great way to learn how to do the pull-up if you're not already capable of doing so. But in today's video, I'm going to show you how to do this awesome exercise all by yourself, way more efficient and way more accurate. So let's go. So a known way to do pull-ups is with rubber bands. You can either go too light or too heavy or somewhere in between, so you need a lot of rubber bands. Also, a rubber band is not as efficient because it helps you way more in the beginning and way less on the top. You never really get the full experience of a pull-up. On the other hand, eccentrics are a great way to do pull-ups. Eccentrics is basically you jumping up and then letting go very slowly. And that is a very good way to gain strength to do your pull-ups. But if the gap between you being able to do pull-ups and where you are right now is too big, doing eccentric pull-ups will not be sufficient in order to get you where you need to be. So that is where the assisted pull-up is so awesome. If you do it with two people, it's a nice partner exercise because the one that's assisting can gauge whether or not he has to push a little bit more or less, and he can really feel the other person. But on the other hand, you don't have anything measurable. You don't know how many kilos are you progressing, are you getting better? It's all subjectively. On the other hand, you have also an assistant pull-up machine, which is great. Who wants to buy that for your home gym? That's why with a simple climbing harness that you put around your waist, two pulleys, and a cable, you can do a lot of things. So basically, with this contraption, we are going to make ourselves lighter so that we can execute the full pull-up without being held back by our own body weight. So how does this contraption is set up? Well, you have one pulley wheel that's centered on top of you, and I like to use rings because then the pulley wheel can be high up there without you hitting your head onto the pulley wheel. So we're using rings. Also, it's not obligated, but it might make your life a little bit easier. The one pulley wheel on the top, that's going to be attached to your harness, and then preferably one pulley wheel a little bit further out. So I have them here on the ceiling because there are already holes there. It was easy to do so. But what you also could do is just like put another pulley wheel on the far end of the pull-up bar, and then you just like run the cable through. You could potentially do it with one pulley wheel, but then you will have the cable just like gliding around your face, and yeah, unless you want like burn marks on your face, that's really not how we're going to do it. So yeah, very easy to set up. By attaching this cable to myself and this cable to some weight, that weight will make me lighter. So I can perform a plethora of exercises that I normally would not be able to do. You could do front levers with this, you can do muscle-ups with this, or you could do pull-ups with this contraption because it makes yourself lighter. Now, how much lighter should you go? Whatever is necessary, right? If you want to do 10 repetitions of pull-ups, well, you pick a weight that you can barely do 10 repetitions of. Also, the higher the weight, the easier the exercise. The lower the weight, the more difficult, the more challenging the exercise is going to be. But the main benefit is you can really see the numbers. You can really know how much weight you put on to the loading pin, to the carabiner here, and you can really see whether or not you're progressing in the right direction. And that is something that I really love about this exercise. I've been using it for training for the one-arm pull-up, but I still wanted to make this video because my girlfriend and the girlfriend of my friend is using this contraption to learn how to do the pull-up. And even though they're doing this already for 3 years, my girlfriend had 2 pregnancies in between, and I feel like she's making a lot of progress right now. And yeah, that doesn't need to be a lot of weight. So I feel like they start with around 15 kilos as warm-up weight, and then they drop the weight even to 5 kilograms. So Even though 5 kilograms does not feel like a lot, it's some assistance, and maybe it's just enough to put them over that edge. And the great thing about weights is that you can incrementally go down all the way until they are at 0 and they can perform their pull-up all by themselves. I think eccentric pull-ups are great. I think banded pull-ups are also awesome. But if the gap between where you are right now and being able to do pull-ups is too large, you would need like a gazillion amount of rubber bands. I'm really fond of eccentrics, and they are proven to be very good to build muscle for that pull-up. But I think you can't just do the eccentric, you also have to do the concentric, you also have to go out of the hole, out of the stretch, teach yourself to do the full range of motion of the pull-up. And with this thing, you can do that. If we're talking about price, well, obviously a partner, unless you have to hire him, is free. Rubber bands are fairly cheap. Eccentrics is also free if you already have a pull-up bar. This thing will set you back around 50 to 60 euros. A climbing harness like the one we have here costs around 30 euros. It's not gonna break the bank. 2 pulley wheels, it doesn't have to be expensive. It can be those small climbing pulley wheels. They cost around like 5 euros each, and then a climbing rope that is maybe 10 euros and you're good to go, okay? So you don't have to break the bank in order to do this exercise. It does require some setting up, but that's fairly easy. I think you are capable of doing so if you so desire. There we have it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you liked this video. I hope you got something out of it, and I guess I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace!